ready, Kay?
I'm ready, Micheline.
You know it's Monday night, right?
Yeah, you know what that means.
It's the Kicks and Giggles show.
The Kicks and Giggles show.
It's the Kicks and Giggles show.
It's the Kicks and Giggles show.
It's the kick. It's the giggle. It's the show.
Hey,
Time to do this, people.
let's go. Girl, I had to get my energy up.
I was like, sit down,
I had to get it up. I had to get my energy up, child.
girl. We got the black and white memo. I see.
Oh, we did. Look at us. Hey, everybody. It's the Kicks and Giggles show. I'm K.S. Lewis.
I am Micheline Bowman.
And we are your Divas of Monday night. Who live and direct, child. That's how
Yeah.
we today. Well, I was going to say today felt like a Monday to me, but actually everything was great until like just about 20 minutes ago. But that's how that goes sometimes, that's what happens.
Hey,
People start acting
okay,
ignorant and you got to act ignorant too.
okay. Let me move and get closer.
Yeah, but it's all good. I'm good.
It's all good.
Good night. And I have I'm doing these. Hey, everybody. For those of you who are just tuning in, we are really, really glad to have you with us.
Yeah.
We come on every second and fourth Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And you can pretty much find us everywhere you enjoy listening to podcasts. And if you are just tuning in, you kind of missed it. I was having a moment. I ain't getting into all that. Just know that sometimes people try to,
Take you out your comfort zone.
girl, I'm still from Dunn. I'm still
North Carolinas.
from Dunn, North Carolina. Okay, don't make me prove it.
But that NC stands for no crap.
You funny. But I was gonna say, I don't know what you have in your glass tonight, but I've been on this like milky kick lately, milky drinks. And so I'm back with the rum cream tonight because rum is my favorite liquor. And when people try to get me out of my character, I'm like, you know what? Let me get a little rum in me real fast. So I don't punch the shit out of you. But anyway, okay, there we go.
I'm just drinking some red wine. I don't even know what kind. It's just red. And then I got my standby, some water, Let me turn it that way. You don't even see who is by.
Yeah, they ain't paying us. Look. Hey, Abby, I see you on. Hey, girl. Oh, she looks really amazing.
Yes, I was like, ooh, yeah, she was gorgeous. I'm like, okay, outfit.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm ready tonight, girl, for this topic. I'm ready for the kick, the giggle. I'm ready for all that.
I am too. Look, I'm wearing. Look, I was like, okay, tonight's topic is actually something that, at first I was like, oh, let me pull an expert. Then I was like, wait a damn minute, I am the expert tonight.
And guess what I did, Kay?
I'm wearing.
Wait a minute.
Wearing my. Oh, look at you! So I'm wearing my dope black relationship coach shirt, and we're gonna talk about how to refresh your relationship.
Girl, I'm ready for that because I got all types of things. When I thought about that, because someone's like refresh, like somebody funky. I said, well, they can be funky in the book and how they smell, but they have a funky attitude as well. I'm like, I wasn't trying to, hold back the refreshness because different areas need some freshening up.
It can be different things, and so I can't wait for us to talk about it because I know I'm excited you wrote notes. I don't know what the hell to do right now. Like Micheline wrote notes. Oh my God.
That's the thing. I typically have something, but I just don't show it. But this one I decided to show you, so I don't want you to know like style, but I do write stuff down. I don't always tell it.
All right. Well, let's get into our kick and giggle. For those of you tuning in, we appreciate you hanging out with us on a Monday night. I'm K.S. Lewis.
I'm Micheline Bowman, and Kay's going first because she always throws the ball to me. Now I'm going to throw the ball back.
You know what? I wrote mine down. I wrote my kick and my giggle down so I can go first.
Good, because I didn't do that.
My kick. I hate moving.
Oh,
I hate moving. And for all of you that are listening globally, I don't know of anybody that likes to move. I hate packing boxes. I hate having to, and now that I live in the city, moving around in the city, you have to pay for a moving permit. I gotta pay in my building. I gotta just pay all of this stuff just to move my stuff from one place to the other place. And so I move in like 2 weeks and I have not packed one box. And I kept saying, I need to pack, I need to pack, I need to pack. So now I'm at this place where I really do have to pack. But that's my kick. My giggle is happy belated Mother's Day to all of those who celebrate. And I had a really great Mother's Day. And my gift was something that it's probably going to sound a little funny, but I love simple things. I really love Crocs, the shoes, Crocs. Are you familiar?
I don't own a pair, but I know what they are.
So my daughter, I have a pair that I purchased, and for whatever reason, I made the wrong purchase. I thought I was getting what I wanted. This was like last year. I made this purchase, but I like the Crocs that have like the little band over it, where you pull it back and you can wear it like, I don't know how to explain.
Right, I know what you mean. Mm-hmm.
Mine didn't have that. And so I still wear them, but she knew how I felt about it. So my girl went and got me Crocs
With the band.
And these are actually the exact same pattern of my other ones. And so when I opened the box, I was like, girl, you gave me my own shoes in a box, but then I realized she had bought me the ones that I really wanted. And so that just really did my heart joy. And then on top of that, my dress had pockets.
Oh, I saw that you posted that. Girl, it's something about people deciding that women need pockets instead of having to carry around purses and all that. Throw some pockets up in that thing. Just throw some pockets in there.
God bless the person who decided to put pockets in dresses because I love them.
Yes.
I love them. And anybody that asked me how I was doing yesterday, I said, my dress has pockets.
That was it. I saw that on your post. I'm like, amen.
I was like, I didn't have to say anything else. So
you didn't.
Well, now what about yours? How was your day yesterday? And
my day was great. I was with my 2 children. Well, they're not children, they're grown. And I went up to Baltimore and spent the day with my bonus mom. And I cooked. I made, I cooked. I made Cornish hens. I made them salmon. I made potatoes, yams. I mean, just the whole thing. Now, it's odd because my bonus mom doesn't like salmon, but she'll eat salmon cakes. So I bought a long salmon and I marinated the way I did when you and Shelby came over in one half. And then the other half I chopped up and all made into salmon patties and cooked.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
It was good. My kick, so that was a great day. My kick is I'm still kicking myself to try to understand where 4 years have gone that my child is graduating from college. I mean, literally, I sit and I'm like, where, how? I'm like trying to get that together because that's major accomplishment, but that means time is gone from high school to college. So I'm literally like, girl, you should have done this. How come we didn't do that? I'm telling myself all the things I wish I had done, but I can't because I don't have the time now. It's here. My giggle is the fact that when I've gone up to college, because she has so many different things going on, I'm trying to be there for the last, which is like the first, but the last. Yes. People didn't realize like how old I am. I'm like, well, I'm like, think about it. You do the math. If she's 21, I'm thinking, no, I'm not your mama's age. They all think I'm in my 40s and stuff because they're like 20, 21. So they got mamas that are 40, 41. But I'm like, no. So I laugh at that because, it's good to know, but it's just still funny that they think, I'm like the old mom,
But you're not old, but I know.
Yeah, but for them, I'm the old mom. So that's the giggles that they think I'm the old mom. So like, especially for the deltas that up there, hi, Sora, mommy. I'm thinking,
that's so sweet, though. You feel wonderful and warm and fuzzy on the inside.
I'm like, okay. Hey, so I'm trying to get it, do stuff. They're like, okay, you got it. I'm like, I can still do it.
They don't know.
They don't know. They ain't ready, but
My child pulled out a song from Guy the other day. I said, what you know about that? What, how do you even? And then yesterday she played Forget Me Not by Patrice Rushen. I said, girl, who are you?
yeah,
All this stuff. But hey, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
it is.
All right. So, let's shout out who's been listening since the last time we broadcast. This time it was all in the United States, which is awesome. Let's start with Maryland. We had listeners in Baltimore, Clinton, and Hyattsville. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for listening. In Georgia, we had listeners in Grovetown and Atlanta. In North Carolina, Charlotte, and it said other. I don't know where other is in North Carolina. I don't know what that means. This is just like a township or something that doesn't register. I don't know. I'm not sure. In Colorado, shout out to Loveland, Colorado. Shout out to Brandon, South Carolina. I'm sorry, South Dakota. My bad. Brandon, South Dakota, and Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you all for listening to the Kicks and Giggles show. We appreciate you so much.
We sure do. Okay, I see Bray's Landover. Hey, Landover.
Hello. Yeah. So, yeah, that was awesome. I'm just still basking in the glory of Mother.
Just listen, subscribe, listen, download, listen to it tomorrow, last week, whatever. Just listen. That's all we ask.
Yeah, and we want to pull together a group of people that we kind of get some feedback from, because we've been thinking about doing some different things for the show. And so if you are someone who regularly tunes in, go to our Facebook page and just say something in the comments and let us know if you want to be part of our focus group, because we're going to put together a small focus group of about 4 to 6 people and just get your thoughts about some ways that we'd like to move forward.
As we freshen up.
Yeah. But tonight we're talking about refreshing relationships. If I had a sound effect, I guess I could. Or it might be something like, it could be so many different things depending on how you look at refreshing.
Okay, I got my notes. So let me start. Can I start off with my notes? Because I'm excited. I got notes. So do you want to start off with your notes?
Tell us what you feel like is a relationship refresh and when you feel like it's needed. Did you have that in your notes?
Well, first of all, let's just say I ain't been in a relationship, so all my stuff needs to be refreshed.
Okay. Put a little powder on it.
I need some refreshing on the everything. So I'm just going to say, but it's all good. But no, I have the stuff I had up. I want to talk about is like, when do most people find the need to break up because they haven't had a refresh in their life? What can they do to keep it, going and all that? So, and how many times in your lifetime you fall in love? I have stuff like that. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's flow into all of that, because it sounds like it kind of aligns with some of the questions that I jotted down. But first things first, what's a relationship refresh? What do you feel like when you hear those words? What do you feel like that means?
For me, I'm thinking you kind of hit a rut. It's like the same old thing, the same old way, the same old. Everything's just like monotonous. You kind of like going through. Hey, how you doing? Get home from work. How was your day? How was your day? Okay, at dinner. So what are you doing tomorrow? I mean, it's like it's too much of a rhythm. Sometimes you got to, and I'm just speaking for me who's not in a relationship. So if you listen and say, Micheline's not in a relationship, what does she know? Oh, excuse me. I've got 2 children, so I have been in one. So I've been in them before. But I feel like when you get to a point where things just kind of get like a halt,
right?
It's time to sit down, partner, and figure out what can we do to push through. Otherwise, you're going to be a sinking ship real quick.
So I look at relationship refreshing as a couple of different things. Definitely what you mentioned as far as when you're in a rut, it's kind of, like if things feel like they're predictable, wash, rinse, repeat, I don't know, whatever it is. But I also feel like it's kind of an opportunity to, I think about it like a garden. Okay. So in order to continue seeing the seeds that you've planted in your garden seeing them flow, seeing them nourish, seeing them grow in a direction that you want them to grow. You have to tend to the garden, right? You have to prune it during certain times of the year. You have to fertilize it. You have to water it. You have to make sure that certain plants are getting certain amounts of sun. You have to nurture it. And I feel like with a relationship refresh, it's kind of like this is an opportunity for us to just have a check-in. Let's have a moment where we talk about, and it's gonna look different for everybody, of course, it looks different. But that's what I think of when I think of refresh. Like, let's spruce things up. When I spring clean my house, I don't want to throw the house away, but I just want to spruce it up. I might go buy some new pillows. I might change the curtains. I might, buy a new picture for the wall. Same house, still brings me joy, but I'm just adding a little flavor to it.
A little spice, a little spiciness.
Just a little something.
A little something. Yeah, I agree.
Gives it a little kick. And yeah, I think we both kind of talked about when it was needed, just kind of inadvertently. Like you're saying when you're in a rut, I'm saying like, I think a refresh is needed, I don't know, at least once a year, maybe twice a year.
Yeah, right now it's just needed. It's just needed right now, child.
But I also think that, it's a really great opportunity, I feel like, to just kind of talk and hear from both partners. And we're talking about it from the stance of a couple relationship, but it could be a friend.
Yeah. But I think most people are used to us talking about couples and relationships, but you're right. It could be a friend. And, it could be, you need to refresh your relationship with your siblings, refresh relationships with your pet. I mean, all types of things need a refresher throughout the course of the year, of the season. It's springtime. So people think about spring as, like you said, spring cleaning, the home, the relationship, stuff like that. But you're right. It could be a friend.
Yeah, it could be, everybody,
Okay, it's Micheline. I know everybody ain't got somebody. Okay.
That's not what I was going to say, but.
Let me tell you. So I did a little homework.
Okay.
And according to, I'm not going to say who, but this is not Micheline.
Okay.
I'm going to go through these quickly. The top 10 things you need to do when it comes to the whole refreshing or sprucing up or whatever it is that you need to do to bring some type of freshness into your romance.
I'm curious if it's things that I would tell someone to do.
In order to keep it fresh, you have to have an element of surprise.
Okay. I like that.
Number 2, send romantic texts. Number 3, schedule date nights. That's kind of easy. You will hope that you would.
What kind of romantic? Are we talking about like, ooh?
Oh yeah. I kept it
red, violets are blue. Or are we talking about when you get home on the?
Yeah, I kept it nice.
Grab me.
I want to just like, yeah. Whatever your romance is, you send a romantic text.
Yeah, it depends on what level of romance you want.
Exactly. Schedule date nights. We pretty much know that date nights, I'm hearing from couples, are always necessary.
Yeah.
Verbalize your love feelings. Make sure he or she knows exactly how you feel. Try something new together. Not always doing the same thing that he or she likes. Spend time with other couples.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know how I feel about that one though.
Well, maybe not. When you said that, it made me think of maybe a couple that's just kind of got into a routine of being at home all the time. Like getting out with other people and just doing something different, doing something new.
But when I thought spending a time with another couple, at first I'm like, I ain't trying to be. I was like, wait a minute, I'm trying to spend no time with her. But okay. Establish goals together.
I like that one too.
That one, because it has you both getting back on the same playing field. Discuss your hopes and dreams.
I love that.
That too. Ask meaningful questions. I never thought about that though. And then number 10, greet one another with excitement every time you see them.
I do like that. I must be honest. My honey greets me with excitement every single time I talk to him or see him. And sometimes I'm like, are you high? You know?
Are you serious? Because he's happy to see you?
No, I mean, I'm the only semi. You know him. He can be like really like, hey, and I'm
He
like, what
loves you.
is wrong with you? But
He loves you, which is great. It's
but I
great.
love that about him. He's full of he has a lot of energy. And I really do like that about him. I was gonna say one of the things that that you mentioned was I think you mentioned ask meaningful questions and set goals.
Mhm.
Kind of aligns with one of the things that that I wrote down, which was set new agreements that fit the new situation. So
Like
if
that.
if you're refreshing, then yeah, you want to sit down, you want to talk, you want to listen to each other, you want to kind of see where both of you are. But it might be time to number one, reaffirm the
I like that.
relationship
Mhm.
and just kind of see where you both are, see how you're both feeling. But then once you reaffirm and once you see how you both are feeling, there might be an opportunity to set some new goals or like I said, some new agreements. So what might have been really appropriate in the beginning of our relationship doesn't apply now because we're a year or so in,
That's true.
you
I
know?
agree with that. Because
Yeah.
things change too. Yeah, your relationships, depending on if you're in your 20s to your 30s, your 40s or 50s, relationships change. But the great thing about it is that you're never too old to fall in love. And that's like one of the things that, we have to realize. Now, of course, you think about teens and in your
Yeah.
20s when most people start, oh, I'm in love, I'm getting married, all that. But, then again, according to what I was reading earlier today, people in their 20s hit a wall too. In their
Absolutely.
30s, they hit a wall. So it's no age limit on when
Yeah.
you hit a wall that you need to refresh your relationships. So they're saying even the young ones, you're fun and you're young, you're out there doing it, but it comes a point in time where these I shouldn't say youngins, but they're younger couples need some refreshing going on.
I think everybody has the potential to hit a wall, no matter what age and no matter, what level. Think about it like this. If you eat chicken nuggets every night, by the time, you know, those chicken nuggets hit your system a certain way one day, you can be constipated or whatever it is. Something's
Ooh.
gonna mess up your system, and that's the wall. Like you need to refresh, you need to change it up. Throw a Big Mac in there. I don't know.
It was a Metamucil in you.
I say throw some vegetables into the mix, but yeah, I mean, I think it's highly appropriate to imagine that among like throughout the time of our age, like as we grow, as we evolve as individuals, the relationship has to evolve too because we're different people.
Mhm.
Who I was in my 20s is not who I am in my 40s. And thank God, you know.
You're
Thank
in
God.
a different space, you're in a different everything. And I
Yeah.
think that sometimes what we can do is we can pull stuff from our 20s into our 30s, into our 40s, because as we grow, our relationships should grow along with us, unless, God forbid that you find somebody who's like, oh, I'm not falling in love. I don't believe in love, because, you have those people too. Like,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as love. And I'm like, okay, let's
You're refreshed when you find someone that doesn't want to be in love and you do, then you're reevaluating as well. Whether or not you need
agree.
yeah, whether or not that's a match for you. Maybe it's not anymore. One of the things I thought about is a refresh is a great opportunity to reminisce.
Oh, no.
When you're in
I
a
remember.
you're in a relationship that you are enjoying, it's an
Okay.
opportunity to think back to the things that brought a smile to your face when you saw each other, or some of the fun things that you might have done, or maybe you did something real crazy in the bushes one night while I mean, it's fun to just be like, "Oh god, you remember when we did that?" Or "You remember when we used to stay up all night on the phone cheesing and talking."
It could be cheesy now, reminiscing, and I
Yes. So think about how you're feeling right now as you're reminiscing
yes,
some of those things. Like,
I agree.
yeah, when you're with your partner and you get a chance to talk about the things that made you smile, the things that made you happy, it gives you, serotonin, dopamine, all that kind of stuff. It gives
Mhm.
you those things that you need to feel good in that moment, and it kind of lightens up the load to
I
open
agree.
for what else can happen or how you might recreate some of those moments. So,
You know what? I like that because even like I said, I can sit here now and smile and laugh at situations that even though I'm not with somebody now, at that time, like you said, the goofy times, the just stuff that was like, what in the world was I thinking moments? But you made it, and you know, even though you're not with the person now for whatever, you still can have some type of joy of knowing that okay, you know what, that made me laugh, that made me smile. Let me make sure that I try to bring that into my relationship so I don't hit that wall. So I'm not like walking around like, oh God, 2 weeks in, here we go again. Because that's what I think so many people they go into a relationship, and when the stuff doesn't keep going and going and going and hit that wall, they're like, okay, same pattern. But you sometimes you got to ask yourself, then what am I doing wrong? How
right.
come it's not refreshed? Or how do I explain to my mate how I want it to be so it can stay fresh and exciting and new and all that?
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Like, if you feel like I'm a big proponent of instead of always talking about what the other person is doing, talk about what you're doing, or at least consider what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It takes, it takes two.
Exactly. One thing I did not know when I was looking up, just trying to find out about refreshing relationships and
Yeah.
what's the average age and the average this. 3 things I found out that of all the top love songs that people listen to, there are 3 of them that I never heard of, and they're
Oh,
all by Black artists. And I've heard of the artists like Chloe, the other guy I had never heard of, and then I heard of Neo, other guy he on the track I didn't hear of. But I was surprised out of the top 10 love songs that couples are listening to right now, 3 of them are by Black artists. Some of them I never heard of. So maybe I need to step up my game so I don't hit this wall. And after this is over, we can check them out together. You're like, maybe you've heard of them because you're going into music and I'm not.
yeah.
But I was surprised to hear that most people fall in love 4 times throughout the course of their lifetime. 4.
Mm.
So I guess I gotta get my lifetime going because I've already hit some of them.
I gotta think back to see if I feel like I've been in love at least 4 times. I'm sure I have. I'm
It
sure I
says 4 times. The average age for a man to settle down is 27, and 38% they do it with their first love. I had no idea about that. It takes a man 88 days to fall in love, and a woman 134.
I can see that. All right.
I think men are more sight.
Yeah, they are. They're more visual.
Yeah.
Women are more emotional.
Yeah. So I can see it taking us a little longer, but still, I'm like,
Yeah.
88 days. That's not even a 90-day rule. What the hell?
Yeah, they ready to run past that. A couple more things that I think are helpful in a refresh. Unplugging. I think making an agreement to unplug, even if it's just for 30 minutes, it helps you clear your mind. It helps you give each other your undivided attention. And it helps you enable yourself to hear things that you wouldn't hear if you were distracted by electronics or other people or just whatever. It gives you that chance to sit in front of one another or just sit in the same space and be with them.
I agree.
The other thing is showing affection. I think I can't remember if you said something about that in the list that you provided, but showing affection, like, kissing, holding hands, sitting close to each other, having your hand on, on a leg or on an arm, something. It doesn't, affection doesn't necessarily have to be about sex. It can just be like,
Touch.
I want, and we need we need touch as humans. We need to feel each other's touch and intimacy. And I think making space for that, making space to make sure that you're connecting in that way, at least shows the other person that I'm invested in you. And we may not know all the words that we need to say for this refresh, but I'm holding your hand or I'm kissing you or I'm hugging you to let you know I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Let me see. Oh, I mean, I'm a big proponent of writing, so I think journaling is always good. You may say like, hey, on Thursday we're going to have this conversation, and why don't you write down some thoughts about it before we come together? So when we come together on Thursday, you have thought through whatever our refresh is, and you can come to the table with some really concrete ideas about how you feel about it.
I like that.
And then let me see. Oh, trying a new activity, keeping it simple, doing something that you both know you already like. And my last one was trying new positions, trying new things that, ignite fire in the bedroom. Massage oil, get a, role play, get a feather, tickle, do all those kinds of things. I'm just saying.
I know. It got a little silent for those listeners. It got a little silent because I just made a face like, yes, all that. Yeah, I'm all of it. Feathers, the tickling, the role playing, all that.
Yeah, I think those things help increase the level of intimacy. I don't know what people's vices are. I don't know what they like all the time unless they're sitting in front of me telling me. But I know just from a simple standpoint, switching it up in the bedroom can help.
And that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, without sharing a name, that was one of the reasons, couple of reasons why I know my relationships did not work, because a few of them, no matter how much I tried, it was just like a step and repeat, open the door, close the door. And it was like, after a while, I felt like a gerbil on that wheel. I had to go like this.
No.
And no matter what I felt like I was doing, looking at this list, I tried to send the text. I tried to do something new. Hey, I know that I did my best to try to do certain things.
Yeah.
But sometimes when people are so ritualistic, and it's hard to get them out of that mindset of seeing something outside of what they're used to get them out of their comfort zone, the struggle is real, and it's really going to lose all freshness very soon. And it's not for the sake that one or the other didn't try, but they have to really want to do it.
Something that you said made me think about maybe there's someone maybe one of the partners has experienced some trauma. And sometimes if there has been some trauma, or if there has been some type of issue in the relationship, it's hard for them to break from the monotony of what makes them feel safe and comfortable. So you mentioned the step and repeat. And I think, part of my mind immediately goes to, I wonder what the step and repeat is about. Why would you not want variety in the bedroom? Well, okay, one of the reasons why you might not want variety in the bedroom is because you may have been raised in a traditional manner where you feel like variety is wrong. You may have had a traumatizing issue, where you're not comfortable with that, or you may be afraid of what the outcome would be. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe if I have a peacock feather and I'm tickling your ass, you might like it too much.
You're like, damn, what the hell?
Right. And then you're like, oh my God, why do I like that? Who does that make me if I say I like that? And so, when you said that, it made me think about those things immediately. And I just encourage people, like I said, to talk and, try something at the level of your comfort zone. And build from that point.
I was about to say that, because sometimes what's comfortable for you might not be comfortable for the other person. But that's why, again, it all goes back to communication. I mean, you have to have those conversations before you get into the bedroom, before you start whatever. Because sometimes, if you're out celebrating, drinking, and getting drunk, and all caught up in the moment, and then you get to the moment, you're like, hold up, wait a minute.
What are we doing? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah. Hey, exit only. Hold up. Wait a minute. So it's like all types of things that need to go down, because you ain't that drunk, that high, that you don't know when your clothes come off or slide to the left, whatever they sliding to.
No, I ain't never that drunk.
You ain't never that drunk. You ain't never ever. I ain't never ever. What's that song?
No, I think on both ends talk, because if I, I was watching this video where this lady was talking about how she liked to suck toes, and I was like, first of all, I ain't never putting nobody's toes in my mouth because I don't like feet like that. I know
Oh,
people like feet. I know that's like people got whole foot fetishes, and I'm not knocking it. That's your choice. But I think I would feel some type of way if you didn't ask me first, and I just look up and you got my damn foot in your mouth.
oh, damn, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me break it down. Break it down. Break it
Like,
down.
oh no, what made you do that? You know,
I'm gonna kick you in the face. I mean, because again,
because I'm ticklish. So yeah,
I hate my feet and my ears. I mean, and the thing is, if we have a communication and I'm letting you know as we're getting to know each other and we get to that point, don't mess with my ears. I just don't want people touch my. I don't like hair touching my ears. That's why if I had hair, my hair was always behind my ears. Everyone has their thing, and if I'm letting you know, I'm like, Knuckle, I'm gonna knock you out. If you want, so like you said,
they're or wrestling and you thinking we playing. No.
Oh, and if you think I'm gonna suck your toe, what?
What? No. Oh, no.
Take a sip on that one. I mean, again,
glass on that one. No.
I mean, but you gonna think about it. Some men might want a finger up the butt, or they might want, I'm just saying, or they might want you to suck their toes.
Girl, no. No, thank you. No, thank you.
But
again, we're talking about refreshing. And so if that's some of the things that are on your mind, just have a conversation. I mean, more than anything, refreshing is about talking. And not just talking, but listening. So if you feel like there is an opportunity to mix things up, if there's a need to mix things up, if there's like you said up earlier, if you're in a rut, if you feel like your relationship is teetering on the side of being in danger, you need a refresh.
I don't think there's anything wrong with going for some outside help for both of you to come together to figure out, look, we both love each other. We both care about each other, but we're not on the same page. We need to either bring the excitement back, bring the communication, whatever it is that got us to want to be together in the first place. That to me is why a lot of couples have been, married 20, 30, 40 years and seem to look excited and genuinely feel excited about being in love with each other when you're around them. I love being around couples who are genuinely just happy to be married 20, 30, 40 years. I think it's just amazing.
I feel like that energy kind of just like rubs off on you. Like that is really contagious. And it makes me, when I see people like that, I want to talk to them about like, okay, how do y'all keep this thing going? I have an aunt and uncle right now that whenever I see them, they are smiling, and God knows, I don't know what they're doing to each other to make each other smile like that. But I love it because I'm like, they've been married for so many years and they never grow tired of each other. Never. I've never seen them argue. I've never seen them, having any kind of disagreement of any sort. They definitely have activities that they love to do. They used to be in a bowling league, but they like to cruise, like all these different things that they love to do together. But I always see them smiling. I always see them just having a good time.
And that to me is contagious. That's what the energy that you want. It's like, when I see my friends, the friends that I do have, there aren't that many, but the ones that are married 30 years, because at our age, most of them like in their 30s for marriage. Right. I'm thinking, wow. And I say to myself right now, okay, God, you know how old I am. Can I get 5? Can I get 10? Because it makes me look back to say, wow, I've never been married. So I'm refreshing all the time. I'm refreshing myself to be ready for that opportunity should it present itself that I am in a relationship. Because I tell single people, you still have to keep yourself up and feeling good and, dating yourself and all that at the same time. Because if you can't date yourself and understand like being by yourself, going here by yourself, who's going to want you if you can't be happy with where you are in your life of being single?
You definitely got to be happy with yourself. And then you also have to realize you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you're dragging and you coming around and your energy is low and you don't have interest level to even, get up and do anything just you or with your friends or with your family, Ain't nobody be trying to deal with that. Because I'm like, I can stay home for a wet blanket. You know?
I love that one. I never heard that one before. I could say home
I
for a
just
wet
made it
blanket.
up on the spot.
I ain't never heard that one, but honey, I could say home for a wet blanket. Okay, I have to tell somebody that one.
I can. But I think yeah, you're absolutely right. Like people have to understand who they are. And like we said in the beginning of the show, you change. You change as you age. You change as different circumstances in your life change. And you have to be willing to move with the flow of change so that if you're single, if you are dating, if you are in a relationship, if you're restarting, maybe you were in a relationship and now you're not, and you trying to, just figure out who you are. You have to be willing to be open to something new, to reminiscing on things that made you happy in the first place. And sometimes you got to revisit those areas.
So I'm kind of curious, just your thoughts. Do you think, and I mean, I know it varies from, I would say decades, if they're 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s, I would assume it would. But do you think there's a certain age, as far as timeline, when people start to get to that rut? Is it like between 3 and 5 years, 7 to 10? I mean, do you know much about that?
I think sometimes it can be even less time than that. I think if sometimes relationships can just be busy. When you have two people that lead busy lives and they're together, you have to be very intentional about how you operate in that space with that other person, or 6 months could feel like a rut. So it doesn't even have to get as long as 3 to 5 years. It can just be the fact that we've gotten so accustomed to our routine, and sometimes we feel like if there's nothing glaringly wrong, then we're happy and we're fine, and we just, like keep pressing, keep going. And the truth of the matter is, yes, all of that technically is true, but how do you feel? How do you feel like there's some excitement that's missing? Do you find yourself more distracted lately? Do you find that when you're together, it's total silence and you don't have things to talk about? Do you find that you go a whole day without talking to your partner and it doesn't bother you? Then you are in need of a refresh. Lose that partner, because I promise you this: if you keep going all day not talking to your partner, guess what? Somebody else will talk to them.
Somebody else is. I agree 100%. But yeah. I am hands up for the rut when I was like, oh my gosh, if I had to wake up tomorrow and do the same thing at this time and the same thing at that time, it was like so ritualistic.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I love them dearly, but I have to love myself enough to understand that I would be miserable and sacrificing too much of myself just to make somebody else happy. I would in turn be miserable. And so that rut or that refresh, even though I tried, because sometimes you can try and do all the things we've been talking about. The date night, to going out with another couple, to spicing it up. You can do all those little things and it still doesn't work. So at that point, you got to make some decisions.
At that point, you probably want to either, make some decisions together, or you want to talk to someone. You want to see a coach, you want to see a therapist, or you may just know where you are and it's time to go your separate ways. Something that you said made me think about, another thing I would say is know your role in the relationship.
There you go.
And what I mean by that is, if one person is super, a big planner, one person's a really, really big planner, and they just love getting out there and finding stuff to do. They're really, really good at putting together plans. Then put them in charge of date night. Put them in charge of what a new activity might look like. And it doesn't mean that they choose everything, but it just means that they're the person that puts it in motion. So when you're talking as a couple, it might be like, oh, what do you think we feel like doing? What do you think, what might be fun to try this month? And the partner might say, oh, I was thinking about maybe we go
skydiving.
Skydiving. Or maybe we go throw axes, or maybe we do, maybe we try a new restaurant that we've never tried. but that partner is not good. They have these ideas and they think that would be fun, but they're not good at following through with it. So instead of getting mad and wanting them to change the makeup of who they are, like don't expect them to turn around and be like, "Oh, I'm going to go plan this whole date." No, you're the planner and you're good at it. So they told you what they like. They told you what might be fun. Get
Yeah,
to
go
plan.
ahead. Yeah, I like that. Know your role. I like that. Know your role.
Know your role.
That's
So
important. Now I like that because it's like you just said, you're gonna have some yin and some yang. You're gonna have some this and some that. You're not gonna have everybody who's always like this, 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 this. It should be like this. It should be like that. But you got to find a balance where if he takes the role of, hey, I'm gonna make the decisions for this, and you let me know about that. You got to have that balance. But again, if you don't have communication, everything we talk about when it comes to refresh in relationships. I got to take it back to talking. The
yeah,
simple words of just communications, the words that are coming out of your mouth.
yeah,
Because if I can't relate to what you're saying, and we can't even have a communication, we're gonna always need some refreshing.
yeah. And one thing about it is if you don't talk with your mouth, you're damn sure gonna talk with your body. So so it's easier to just say what's on your mind because if we, communication is going to come out of you one way or the other. If you need a refresh and you feel timid about talking about it, your actions are going to begin to show it. And I talked about how, you may begin to not talk to each other regularly. You may begin to feel okay with the distractions that are around you and not address them. You may begin to go a whole day without even saying hello. If that's the case, you're still communicating. You're just not communicating verbally.
Word, exactly. And
Right.
I want to say that in the African American family household, when we hit those ruts and when we hit those bridges of do I cross or whatever, a lot of us, and I'm just going to speak in general terms. I would like to think that a lot of us aren't going to therapists. They aren't going to somebody to sit and talk about it. They're just not. And I feel like there's nothing wrong when you hit a wall and you need refreshing that you go see someone who can counsel you, who can advise you, who can pull out of you what you two are not pulling out of each other. So I wish that whole dynamic of, just seeing a therapist. When you say a therapist, a therapy, people automatically in the African American community like, oh my gosh, I ain't gonna talk to nobody. I'm not gonna. And it shouldn't be like that because it
Yeah.
doesn't make a difference what color of your skin is. Your mind and your heart and your soul are all connected. And sometimes somebody needs to be able to talk to you about things.
That's so true. I appreciate you saying that because there is still a lot of stigma around therapy, particularly in the Black community. But what I will say is that the advances of social media is helping to change that. You have a lot, and then also being able to see Black male therapists and counselors, and hear them kind of speak to the issues that are within men in particular is really, really helpful because a lot of times, men grow up hearing like, don't show emotion, don't act like this, don't act like that. And they get labeled. They get labeled sissy, they get labeled sensitive,
So
labeled soft, they get labeled lame. And so they put all of those emotions in a box inside of them that nobody can chisel open. Well, but the truth of the matter is you're still human and there's still a lot of things that you need. A sense of belonging is one, a sense of, like I said, physical touch, a sense of being able to share who you are. And there may be some traumas that need to be addressed and need to be, discussed so that you can recover from those things. And I'm thankful that there is now a platform on social media, even though I'm not always a huge fan of social media, but there are some good things about it. And one of the good things is that there are so many therapists that are willing to at least share information and talk about the benefits. And if you are able to hear someone that connects with you in a meaningful way, then that's all you need. That's all you need is for one person to say something or for you to see a meme or a reel that speaks to your heart. And then you're like, huh, I never thought about that. Or, maybe there's an affirmation that someone posts that really, that really speaks to where you are. And that's helping. I'm still a proponent, like go get therapy. But in the meantime, while you're warming up to therapy, follow some therapists that you enjoy on social media until you get comfortable with actually making an appointment.
I love it. And I hope that more people will do that, like you said.
Excuse me.
Coming out of the mouth of the dope black, what's your shirt say?
Relationship
coach.
Yeah. I can't call myself
That relationship coach. That's kudos to you for that. Yeah, and again, there really isn't a time stamp when refresh is needed. We talked about it right now because it's springtime. So like spring cleaning, like Kay was saying, spring, you think about new growth, seeds were planted, the earth is turned over, everybody's doing something different and new. So a refresher is needed. But again, a refreshing can be needed
anytime.
any day of the week, any month of the year.
You feel like you need to refresh. Don't you take a shower every day?
Hello, don't wait till the stuff is like falling off the wagon.
Don't wait till you're funky. That's like you wash your body every day. So don't wait till your relationship is funky to start doing something about it. Refresh it.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. No, refreshing comes in different forms. It comes in physical form and it comes in the bodily form of refreshing. So if you need to be refreshed with words or refreshed with actions, refreshed with body odors, I mean, like I love it. No one wants no stanky ass.
No, I don't. I don't be no stank ass to me because I'm gonna be a stank ass to you. And you telling you.
We don't want that though. But that's a good thing. And whatever you do it and do it well. So you won't have to worry about it. But like right now, I'm picturing just like you said, you have your aunt, they've been married for a long time. I'm picturing just like happy couples. And when social media, every now and then, when they hear you talk about stuff, everything starts popping up on your page and you didn't even ask for it. So now I guess Kay and I will have a bunch of old people married since 100 years popping up on our page and they're dancing and they're singing and they're doing whatever. So Kay, shout out to you because that's what's going to happen now.
I'm okay with it, but you know what? You can have a happy couple, but the happiness starts within you. And so if you're happy within yourself, then you are going to put that energy out to your partner. And if you're not happy, go get help so that you can be, at least attempt to be happy. I think about how I tell my staff before they answer the phone, smile. Before the next phone rings, smile and then answer because that smile radiates through your voice to that other person. So
that's so true. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get off topic 1 second because you said that smile and then we're gonna get back on topic. I thought about what you said. Well, the picture that came into my head was on Wednesday. I was in Baltimore. We were walking through the Walmart. And as soon as we got through the door, the greeter is that, Walmart has those greeters. They know if they smiling or whatever. And the guy wasn't smiling. Well, first of all, he had a mask on, but I could tell by his eyes. Dead giveaway. So I said, hi, how you doing? He goes, I'd be better if I wasn't working here. And I mean, literally. So I turned around and I said,
be the greeter and can't smile.
No, but to say that to me as a customer, I would be better if I wasn't working here. So I turned around and said, you know what? Have an amazing day. I said, just be blessed and grateful that you have a job that you can go to. And I just turned around. But you're right. Your first things out of your mouth, the first smile, the first words, the first everything is going to set up your day for being refreshed or not. I mean, you might need to be refreshed 7 days a week for 7 weeks out of the month, year until you get it together. And it's okay. I'm just saying, y'all refresh.
Think about it. If you got rocks in your socks and you feeling all, like that, that's the energy and that's the exchange that you want to come back to you. So
I was like, ooh, let me slide over here and keep walking. I did not want to get that. I didn't want that to jump off and get into my system.
Exactly.
Because people can be like magnets. We can suck somebody else's energy that they're giving out.
Transfer of energy is very real.
Do not.
I probably would have asked, just because I'm a weirdo. I probably would have said, "Where would you rather be working? Why don't you go get a job there?" Look,
but Kay, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to engage with him. At that point, the first thing he just looked at me, and I'm the one telling you hello, and you're the greeter.
Right? He's supposed to be greeting you with a smile.
Welcome to Walmart. I was like,
asking you if you need a basket, helping you sanitize it. Oh, Lord,
He was not their first line of defense. He needed some refreshing.
Yeah, we used to call my front desk people, I used to call them the director of first impressions.
I like that.
Because
That's true.
it's very true. Like, you are the first person that people encounter when they walk into the office, and if you don't have yourself together, you're gonna set the tone for their visit.
Everybody that comes through that door to see
Yeah.
you. That's
Yeah.
why I tell people you gotta be, but that goes for relationships.
It
If
really
you say what?
That's what it does. It really does.
If you and your man or your woman are out and someone says, "Hey, how you doing?" You're like, "I'm fine." Ooh, okay.
Right.
Who got up on the wrong side of the bed? Like,
Right.
hey, push your ass out, because that could start a whole conversation right then and there, when the guy's like, damn, babe, you got to be like that. So again, the
Yeah.
director of, what do you call it? The director of
First impressions.
first impressions. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
But you're absolutely right. Think about it. If you're always greeting your partner with a oof. They're gonna be like, what the hell wrong with you? Let me tell you something. So you know my honey again. And he is a jokester. And so he was doing this thing where every time I would call him, he'd be like, now what the hell do you want? And one day I said, you heard me tell you that he says that. I'm like, listen, you got one more good time to say that to me, and I'm hanging up on your ass. And then we're gonna find out.
What the hell you That is so funny.
Because he is totally joking. He's totally joking.
Well, yes, but I can hear him saying that to you.
And he is too funny. He's too much. He's too much some days. But but he does say that to me. Now what the hell do you want?
I'm gonna have to take that from you. And then what the hell you want?
Right. I'm like, really? That's what we're doing today? Okay.
That is so funny. I love it. I love it. But you know what? Again, I'm so happy that you guys don't need no refreshing because he got you, and you by you knowing how to take charge and take control of situations when you know you're gonna get there. It's like, look,
girl, we refresh too. We are not above.
Right. I mean, I know you do, but at least you have somebody being a coach.
Yeah.
You have that opportunity to look, before we get there, we see we're going through this little rough water. We need to get back to the shallow water before we get back out there, in the deep end.
But the good thing is that, there are times when I feel personally in a rut and his energy is so big that he brings me out of that rut, or he's just like, what's wrong? What's going on? And you almost, for me personally, I almost feel bad if I'm all down in the dumps and he's like, hey, I'm like, hey, you be mad today, and I think that's the testament of knowing the personality of your partner when and being able to read your partner. So, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about refreshing because we're running out of time, but sometimes just having an understanding of who that person really fundamentally is, you know immediately if there's something lacking within them that's needed.
Feel it.
And then you can address it like, hey, what's going on? Because this is different about you, or I've noticed that you've been saying this, or I've noticed that you've done this for the last few days. Let's talk. But it goes back to what you said. It goes back to communication.
And without that, you can try all you can, but it's gonna have a stinky ass, a stinky relationship, a stinky everything.
Yeah.
If you won't take a moment to talk about it. So.
Then you won't get a chance to experience whatever that new thing is gonna be. I'm gonna go get me
the peacock feather. The peacock feather.
I'm gonna get a peacock feather, and I'm gonna see what happens.
Oh gosh, I don't want to know. You keep that one to yourself.
What happens, but I just gotta see. I gotta see what happens.
I'm curious. I'm gonna go find a gold. Never mind.
Oh no! Tell us a gold what? I'm curious.
I'm just gonna keep that one to myself. Let them marinate in my spirit.
I mean, I'm like, there's so many gold things that you can find.
I'll never tell. As Lou Rawls says, you'll never find.
On 4th Monday to find out what gold trick Micheline found.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Or a treat. Who knows? Oh, all right. I'm KS Lewis.
I'm Micheline Bowman.
We are your Divas of Monday night on the Kicks and Giggles show. We thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight as we talked about refreshing relationships. Hopefully you gained something from the conversation.
If not, join us back here on the fourth Monday because we got something else for you. As they say, you never know where the convo will go.
That's right. Everybody be good, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Deuces.